Those of you that know me, I don't need to introduce myself. For those that do not know me, my name is Vanessa. I am a certified trainer. And on this exercise clip, I'll be showing you, and I've done this online. I did not come up with these exercises. I am not prescribing these exercises, okay? And legally, I cannot. This is from AAOS, American Academy Orthopedic Surgeons. The website that I got it from is right here, orthoinfo.org. It's a hip conditioning program. I'm going to try to make the PDF available. Here are the pictures of the exercises that I'll be doing. I'll be demonstrating them. I won't be doing a full set of each, but I will demonstrate every exercise on here. If I cannot put the PDF in the description, then what I will do is I will post a link where you can get this PDF. So it will be easier for you to access. And the reason I'm showing you all these exercises before I begin, let it refocus there, okay. The reason I'm showing these exercises to you before I begin is to give you an understanding of what it is that if you choose to do this exercise video, what it is that you'll be doing. Now this last one here, I'll have to get one of the steps out from the corner, or maybe the step that is in the background, but I'll do it. However, it is not an absolute requirement that that exercise be placed in there, because when I had my hip injury, I didn't do that last exercise. In fact, most of the exercises that I did on the hip conditioning program, there are only 2 that I did primarily, because those are the only ones that I felt helped. And I have this ankle weight here. I'm not going to use the ankle weight. I'm going to show you that this is the type of ankle weight that I would use if I needed to add resistance to this workout. I will demonstrate it to you once I get to that point. Now the first exercise is a series of stretches. Well, the first exercise is a stretch, first of all. So, let me tilt the camera up. There we go. Now, the stretches are to be done daily, and you're to hold each stretch for 30 seconds. Now, to do a side view, this is my affected hip. So the front leg is going to go to the rear, not this, like one step back, and then it's going to come behind the front leg, and I'll show you a front view of it. Now what I do is I lean over into that side. And it's to help get a stretch through here and through this side. So, showing you a front view. The affected foot goes back, or the affected hip goes back, and it goes across. So you see the alignment that my feet are in, and you lean to that side. You don't want to go forward like this. Over here. And this is helping to stretch this area out. Semi-warming it up, because this is therapeutic after all. And if this is difficult for you to do, just standing here, take a chair or something, and do this activity. Hand on the chair on this side, or I have my hand on the TV in the back here to help. Okay? And the next one. Double checking here. The next series of exercises are going to be floor-based. So, I'm going to tilt the camera down so that it's thoroughly, it has me in the full view of the camera. Move that to the side. Okay. Seated rotation stretch. I'm going to do this on an angle so you can see what I'm doing here. So, the non-affected leg lengthens. The affected leg will bend. Take that leg across. Now, the way the picture shows it is your elbow comes up here like this. However, I have also found that if you take the opposite hand of the leg that's bent and bring it through and hug that leg towards your body and rotate towards that knee, towards the opposite side, it gets that stretch in there just as effectively as though you were doing that. And the purpose for doing that stretch there is to push this leg across the body. While you're doing this, you're pulling the leg across the body. So, a very similar effect, if not the same effect. Releasing that. Now, another stretch. There's actually 2 more stretches in this. And then we're going to go on to what one of my clients calls the meat of the program. So, the next one, you lie down on the floor. Yes, I'm using my hands to guide me. Because if you have low back issues, you're going to want to have your hands behind you to guide you down. The affected leg, the non-affected leg bends and the foot is on the floor. The affected leg comes up and you hug it into your torso. Now, while this leg is up here, you can take this leg and extend it out. Now, if this feels too intense, bend that back knee and put that heel on the floor. But if you're feeling okay with this, keep it here. And now the next one, the next stretch. Bend that bottom knee, put the foot on the floor, this top leg, extend it to the ceiling, wrap the hands around. Now, if you were able to, you can try to pull your arms in towards your torso, but if that causes your knee to bend like this, then just walk the hands up until you can straighten that leg. And this is warming up and stretching all the area near the hip. I'm going to bend that knee and roll myself up. Now, first exercise, we're getting to the point where if you are at a point in your hip conditioning program that you can use ankle weights, then you may do so. I use All Pro, and I'm going to bring it up to the camera so that you can see it. All Pro. And the strap says All Pro. Contour foam. Yeah, foam. And the front flaps that you saw there, the front flaps, they open, Velcro. Yeah, and if you have carpet like I do, it's going to stick to the floor, so I'm going to put it on my leg. And these have removable weights. Okay. Each side is 2.5 pounds, which means each removable weight stick is a ½ pound. I am not going to use this weight, this ankle weight, even on 1 pound for it today. Today is just a demonstration. I just got this out to let you know that when I use ankle weights, I use these. These are the ones that I love because they are adjustable and it's easy to pop them in and out. I can pause the player, pop them in and out, strap it on, play the DVD, and then continue to do my work. It takes less than, I'd say less than 20 seconds to get each stick out. Now, if I do the sides combined, then it's one stick, and it takes maybe 10 seconds to get the sticks out, so for 2 sticks, it's 20 seconds combined. Anyway, I'm not going to do the ankle weights, just letting you know the brand that I use. If you want to use ankle weights, it is entirely up to you. You do not have to use ankle weights. Lie on the non-affected side. The affected side is facing the ceiling. Bend the bottom knee. Now, your foot is pointed towards your body, or toe is pointed towards your body. You're going to raise the foot up just a little higher than your hip, so right about here. And you're going to hold it for 5 seconds. 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2 to release. Up, 1, 3, 4, 5, down, 2, and release. One more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, down, 2, and release. Now, I noticed on that last one, my hip was getting a little tired and it rotated where the toe was starting to point towards the ceiling. Don't ever do that. You want to have this hip pointing to the ceiling and you want to work this outer hip. If you rotate towards the ceiling, it's going to start working the front of the thigh. Yeah, there's an entirely different conditioning series for that. I'm trying to work on that outer hip. Now, to work on the inner thigh of the same leg. Now, for those that have been doing this conditioning program for a while, you can have your foot in the back. However, when you do that, it allows you to come higher, which may make you sacrifice form. The pamphlet here states 1 foot in front, sit on top of that hip. Okay? You don't want to lay back like that, because you do that and you're going to be working the quad again. Foot in front, I'm facing the camera, toe pointed towards my body. Lift up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and down for 2. Up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and down for 2. Up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and down for 2. And so if you find that you're getting a little bit tired or that there's too much pressure, place a pillow under that hip. Just make sure that your hips are facing forward and not up to the ceiling. Because a lot of people, they're doing it and they're like, wow, this is getting really easy. And then they don't realize that they're sitting on one butt, on one tush when they're doing it. Okay. Now on this one, it helps to have a cushioned device to lay on. So, I'm going to get my disc out and I'm going to lay on it, because it recommends having a pillow on your hips. Actually, I'm going to lay this way because this is my affected hip. So, place yourself here. Okay. Now, bend the affected knee, that leg that's affected, bend it. And what you're going to do is you're going to push the foot and ankle towards the ceiling, but this leg is only going to go as high as that hip to hip level. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, I'm noticing on the paper here it says slowly lower your leg down to the floor, counting to 5. So it will be up and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I find that either one works. Do what works for you. Okay, internal hip rotation. Since I have this step here, I will use it for convenience. Oh, really? Come on. All right. I will use it for convenience, nothing more. Back a little bit. Okay. So, okay. So, now, and the disc here, and then the last one. All right. So, what we'll do is I'm going to put the disc between the knees before I get into position. Okay. I'm scooting myself up, and I'm placing my hand on the floor. Now, straighten out that bottom leg. I recommend getting a longer step to do this. Or, you can do this on the floor, which I think I'm going to, because this step is just not long enough for this. Ideally, you would be on a therapy table for this, but I do not have a therapy table. So, doing this on the floor, leg extended, top knee bent. So, your heel is going to rotate and go towards the floor, and then it will rotate again and go towards the ceiling. And then you'll do that motion in a 5 count. So it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, touch. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now for the next, I'll use the bottom leg as the one that is affected. What I'll do here is I want to elevate this hip like that. This way it has a level that's been below the level of the knee with which to rotate. It's not a large rotation, this is a teeny tiny rotation, and you're going to feel it in that pocket of that hip. And then you're going to have to lay on that side. So it's going to feel very, very weird. If it's uncomfortable, don't do the last exercise. I'm just showing you what's on the paper. So, the same count as the previous exercise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's how you would do that one. Okay, that's the end of that one. I hope you enjoyed it. Well, if none enjoyed it, I hope you got some information that you could use. Keep a lookout for my next series of videos. Thanks. Bye.